Iran leadership cites targeted by US and Israel as Tehran retaliates with strikes across region. The US and Israel have attacked Iran. President Donald Trump confirms major combat operations are underway and calls for regime change. The office of Iran's supreme leader and the presidential office in Tehran were reportedly targeted, as well as military sites across the country. At least 53 people were killed at a girls' school, Iranian state media reports. Iran has launched retaliatory strikes on Israel, the Israeli military says. Damage, thought to be caused by Iranian attacks, has also been seen across the region, including in Qatar, the UAE, and Kuwait. In Bahrain, where the US has a major naval base, the moment of an apparent Iranian missile attack was filmed from a car. Trump has urged Iranians to take over the government, saying, "This will be probably your only chance for generations." There is a mixed response among ordinary Iranians, our reporter says, panic in the streets, but also, for some, a sense of relief. The US and Israel think the Iranian regime is vulnerable, writes our international editor Jeremy Bowen, and believe this is an opportunity not to be squandered. Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says British planes are in the sky today in the Middle East as part of coordinated regional defensive operations to protect our people, our interests, and our allies. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi was just live on NBC News as the internet remains down for the majority in Iran. Araghchi says that Iran may have lost one or two commanders. He also says that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is alive as far as he is aware. Iranian outlets have so far denied that a number of Iranian officials and commanders have been killed, including the president and commander-in-chief of the army. Araghchi says that Iran is keen on de-escalation and is open to negotiations, provided that the US and Israel cease their attacks. While saying that there are no communications right now, Araghchi adds that if the Americans want to talk to us, they know how they can contact me. Iran and the US have been engaged in renewed nuclear talks, with the latest round happening 2 days ago. Araghchi also confirms that Iran is attacking American bases in the region, but describes it as an act of self-defense. Cloud with lightning, a storm over the Middle East. Leadership targets, retaliations, and a region on edge. Early on Saturday, February 28, 2026, a seismic shift rattled the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. In a coordinated military operation described by U.S. officials as major combat operations, the United States and Israel launched a joint strike campaign deep into Iranian territory. The scale, precision, and symbolism of the targets marked one of the most dramatic escalations in decades, a confrontation not just between armies, but between visions of power and influence in a region long accustomed to simmering tensions. Direct hit decapitation strategy, striking at Iran's leadership core. The strikes were not random, they were surgical, aimed at the nerves of the Iranian state. According to international media reports, multiple strategic locations were hit, including sites associated with Iran's political and military command structures. The residence and compounds linked to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the symbolic and practical apex of Iranian power. Buildings tied to the Ministry of Intelligence and the Defense Ministry, thought to house high-level meetings and command operations. Facilities of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, central to Tehran's contentious nuclear program. Reports, still unconfirmed, suggested that key figures within Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard Corps and national leadership may have been present at targeted locations. These weren't merely military bases or scattered outposts. They were the centers where strategy, policy, and power converge. If true, such an operation reflects a decapitation strategy, one designed to disrupt decision-making at the highest level and compel a profound political shock. But it also risked inflaming a much broader conflict. Israeli military sources confirmed strikes beyond Tehran, with operations extending to key urban centers like Isfahan, Tabriz, Qom, and Kermanshah. Videos and satellite imagery released early in the day broadcast smoke rising over Tehran's skyline, images that underscored the seriousness of the attack. United States, Washington's calculus and broader objectives. The United States, under President Donald Trump's administration, framed the assault as a defensive measure against what it portrayed as imminent threats from Tehran. In a rare public address on social media, Trump declared that the campaign aimed to neutralize Iran's capacity to threaten American lives and interests, while also urging people within Iran to challenge their government once the military phase concluded. U.S. officials described the operation with stark language, indicating that options had ranged from diplomatic pressure to kinetic action. What was executed combined air, sea, and cyber capabilities, meant to degrade missile infrastructure, command networks, and, critically, the political architecture of Iran's leadership. This was not a limited strike. It was an orchestration of multiple domains, a message that Washington intended to alter Iran's strategic behavior. Fire Tehran strikes back, a wider regional flashpoint. Iran's response was swift, deliberate, and widespread, a testament to Tehran's reach and its network of regional influence. Within hours of the U.S.-Israeli offensive, Iranian ballistic missiles and drones were launched toward targets across the Middle East. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, declared a multi-front retaliation targeting U.S. military bases and assets in several neighboring states: Qatar, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Iraq, and Jordan. These missile salvos were not symbolic. They were calculated to inflict real damage on coalition forces and disrupt the region's military balance. Tehran's leaders framed their strikes as self-defense, a vow of no leniency against what they described as an illegal violation of Iranian sovereignty. The Iranian rhetoric shifted public focus from internal politics to external resistance, positioning the regime as defending homeland and honor against Western imperialism. Throughout the Gulf, air defense systems were activated. Alerts were sounded in capitals far from Tehran, from Doha to Riyadh. Local media captured the tension, civilians scurrying for shelter, fighter jets slicing through desert skies, and anti-aircraft batteries lighting up twilight horizons. Globe with meridians the human and regional toll. As military hardware churned, the human toll mounted. Reports emerged of civilian casualties, including students at a girls' school in the southern city of Minab, where more than 60 young lives were lost in a separate strike. News of deaths and injuries rippled across Iranian provinces, amplifying the fear and uncertainty among ordinary citizens caught in the crossfire. Beyond Iran's borders, allied militias and proxy groups aligned with Tehran began to mobilize. Shia militias in Iraq and Yemen's Houthi forces hinted at supporting Iran's retaliation. The specter of proxy escalation loomed large, extending the battlefield beyond conventional borders and dragging fragmented